I never imagined that opening my home to a friend would become the biggest mistake of my life. If you think you truly know the people closest to you, you need to listen to this story until the very end. My life back then was pretty simple, maybe even a little boring, but it was stable. I had a steady job, a small but comfortable apartment, and zero drama. Life was good. And then, one night, my phone rang. It was an old friend. We went way back. We'd known each other for years, been through thick and thin together. We had a history. You know, the kind of bond you think is unbreakable. So when he called me, sounding panicked and completely desperate, my first instinct was just to help. I didn't even hesitate. He told me, I lost my job. I've got nowhere to go. I just need a place to stay for a few days. Just a few days to figure things out. What do you do in that situation? This was my friend! Of course, I said yes. I didn't ask a bunch of questions. I didn't second guess him. That's what friends do for each other, right? You show up. I told him he could stay with me until he got back on his feet. That single decision, that one act of kindness, would end up changing everything. At first, everything was completely fine. It was almost perfect. He was so polite, so thankful. He helped out around the apartment, cleaning up, doing dishes, just being a good house guest. I actually felt really good about it. I felt like I was doing the right thing, helping someone I cared about who was in a tough spot. But what I didn't realize was that this was all just an act. The calm before a storm I never saw coming. After about 2 weeks, things started to shift. It was subtle at first. He started staying out late, coming in at all hours of the night. He stopped helping around the apartment. The thank yous became less frequent. Then I noticed he was using my things without asking. My laptop, my car, little things that started to add up. I saw all these red flags, but I actively ignored them. I told myself I was being paranoid. I didn't want to believe that a friend, my friend, could be capable of betraying me. I kept making excuses for him. He's just stressed, I'd think. He's going through a hard time. Then one day, the first real jolt hit me. I was checking my bank account online, just a routine check, and I noticed money was missing. Not a huge amount, but enough to make my heart stop for a second. I tried to stay calm. I went over my recent purchases, trying to make sense of it. I convinced myself it had to be a bank error or a charge I'd forgotten about. It couldn't be what I thought it was. It just couldn't. A few days later, while I was still trying to rationalize the missing money, I got an email. It was from my bank's fraud detection department. It was an alert. Someone had applied for a personal loan in my name. A significant loan, and I knew, with a sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach, that it wasn't me. The pieces started clicking into place, forming a picture I didn't want to see. My hands were shaking. I had to confront him. I walked into the living room where he was just sitting there watching TV, like nothing was wrong. I tried to keep my voice even. I showed him the email on my phone. At first, he denied everything. He looked me right in the eye and said he had no idea what I was talking about. Then, when he saw I wasn't buying it, he got angry. Defensive! He started turning it around on me, accusing me of not trusting him. And then came the emotional manipulation. Tears started welling up in his eyes. He said, "You're my only support. I have no one else. If I used a little bit of money, what's the big deal? I was going to pay you back." That was the moment the floor fell out from under me. The moment the denial shattered. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I hadn't been helping a friend in need. I had opened my home, my life, and my finances to a predator. I had given the keys to my entire life to the wrong person. After that confrontation, things escalated incredibly fast. The banks got involved. I had to file police reports. I spent hours on the phone trying to prove my identity, trying to undo the damage. My credit score, which I had worked so hard to build, was destroyed. My focus at work completely disappeared. I couldn't sleep. The stress was overwhelming. This constant knot of anxiety in my chest. It felt like I was drowning. And then, one night, I came home from work and he was just gone. All his stuff was gone. There was no note, no apology, no explanation. No goodbye. He just vanished, leaving me to clean up the catastrophic mess he had made of my life. The aftermath was a long and painful process. It took months, nearly a year, to repair the financial damage. I had to work with credit agencies, dispute fraudulent charges, and slowly, piece by piece, rebuild my financial standing. But the money was only part of it. The real damage was emotional. I had to regain my peace of mind. I had to learn how to trust people again. And honestly, that was the hardest part. The betrayal didn't just cost me money. It cost me my confidence, my sense of security, and a part of my belief in the goodness of people. Looking back now, I've learned a powerful lesson. There's nothing wrong with helping someone. Kindness is not a weakness, but blind trust is dangerous. You have to be discerning. Not everyone who asks for your help deserves full, unrestricted access to your life.